Power isn't about striking hard, or often it's about striking true, said Honoré de Balzac. This timeless wisdom resonates perfectly with the art of attraction. In a world obsessed with chasing and doing more, the real secret to captivating someone's attention lies in doing less. But with laser-focused intention, confidence, mystery, and an effortless charm are what draw women in, not flashy gestures or over-the-top displays of affection. Imagine a man who doesn't just catch her eye, but lingers in her thoughts. His allure isn't loud, yet it's utterly unforgettable. If you're ready to master this subtle magnetic power, this guide will show you how to seduce without excess and create a connection that feels like magic. Let's start here. What do women fantasize about? When you think of a woman's fantasies, perhaps vampires or billionaires come to mind, timeless archetypes that dominate literature, film, and even daydreams. But why? These figures reveal something profound, an emotional tapestry woven with a yearning for safety, surrender, and the thrill of stepping into the unknown. A vampire exudes elegance and danger. A billionaire promises stability and limitless possibilities. Together they reflect a delicate balance, a longing for both chaos and comfort, risk and reassurance. But men are no different. Think of the allure of a femme fatale, the woman who embodies mystery, danger, and intrigue. She's the type who leaves you breathless, not because she tries too hard, but because she reveals just enough to keep you chasing. Attraction is a dance, a tantalizing push and pull where vulnerability and danger coexist, making the experience electrifying. The silent craving for chaos. In today's hyper-controlled world, many live within rigid boundaries, polished routines, strict societal expectations, and endless to-do lists. Yet beneath this controlled surface lies an untamed hunger for adventure and unpredictability. Deep down, we all crave the thrill of chaos, the exhilarating uncertainty of what comes next. This primal need fuels attraction. It's why we're drawn to stories of forbidden love, secret desires, and daring risks, archetypes as clues to desire. The vampire and billionaire archetypes whisper to primal instincts. The vampire represents seduction, risk, and mystery. The billionaire embodies comfort, security, and power. Women are often drawn to men who subtly combine these qualities, someone who can make them feel both safe and excited. But here's the key. True connection isn't about becoming a caricature. It's about stepping into someone's inner world and recognizing what truly makes their heart race. For instance, imagine a woman who seems reserved on the surface, but her favorite books are filled with daring adventures and unpredictable love stories. Her playlist is a mix of soulful ballads and wild rock anthems. Even her fashion choices, quirky, bold, or understated, offer clues to her secret desires. To captivate her, you must pay attention to these subtle details. Listening deeply and acting with precision creates a bond that feels uniquely hers. Vulnerability, the hidden key to seduction. At its core, seduction isn't about tricks or manipulation, it's about vulnerability. The courage to be seen, to risk rejection, and to share your authentic self is what makes attraction profound. The word vulnerable comes from the Latin vulnus, meaning wound. Loving someone, opening your heart to them, means risking pain. Yet this risk is what makes connection transformative. On a psychological level, attraction taps into the primal dynamics of human relationships, drawing from our earliest bonds of trust and dependence. For men, this often emerges as the anima, the feminine ideal within their subconscious. Over time, layers of self-protection form, keeping us safe, but also blocking deeper emotional connections. Seduction, then, becomes an act of peeling back those layers not just for her, but for yourself as well. Why emotional openness is revolutionary. In a society that glorifies independence and stoicism, emotional vulnerability is an act of rebellion. It's easy to hide behind walls, but true connection demands openness. Growth doesn't come from playing it safe, it comes from stepping into the unknown and embracing the discomfort of emotional risk. Just like physical workouts strengthen the body, emotional exposure builds resilience and fosters intimacy. Ironically, in this digital age, where everyone's lives are displayed for the world to see, the most captivating stories are those that hint at something deeper, stories that offer mystery, courage, and authentic connection. Seduction is not about overwhelming someone with effort, but inviting them into a world that feels uniquely theirs, where boldness and vulnerability create something unforgettable. So, if you're ready to move beyond cliches and stereotypes, and you want to unlock the secrets of effortless attraction, start here. Dare to be vulnerable, dare to be present, and dare to truly see the person before you. This is where real seduction begins. So, what does she imagine when she closes her eyes? It's not just a scene, it's a feeling. She dreams of surrender, the kind that comes with trust and vulnerability. She yearns for adventure, the kind that sweeps her off her feet and awakens a side of her she's forgotten or hidden away. And above all, she craves the magnetic pull of being truly seen, not for who she pretends to be, but for who she is at her core. In a world where everyone clings to control, the art of seduction dares us to let go. It's a timeless rebellion against fear, urging us to embrace risk, wonder, and the infinite potential of connection. Number 2, the allure of vulnerability, a secret worth craving. Let's dive into something deeper, vulnerability. What is it, really? At its essence, vulnerability means opening yourself to the possibility of being hurt. It's stepping into uncertainty with your guard down, knowing full well the risks. As Carl Jung and other psychologists have noted, when someone projects an unshakable exterior, a man who seems impenetrably tough, hyper-masculine, or emotionally unavailable, it's often a mask for something tender. Beneath that armor lies insecurity or a softer side he's too afraid to reveal. Humans are walking contradictions. Think about the moralists who judge others harshly, the people who wear their righteousness like a shield. What lies beneath? Often, it's their own struggles, their unspoken fears, or parts of themselves they've disowned. This internal conflict creates what I call the lost ego, the side of us that's buried beneath societal expectations and personal insecurities. But here's the twist. Repression breeds pain, and over time, that pain demands to be acknowledged. The lost ego longs to surface, to play, to explore the world with the wide-eyed curiosity of a child. It's in those moments of vulnerability, when we let that hidden part of ourselves breathe, that we discover true strength. Paradoxically, the more we embrace our fragility, the more magnetic and authentic we become. Now imagine this. Someone enters your life and taps into that buried part of you. They don't just scratch the surface, they awaken something dormant, something you didn't even realize was there. They have just enough edge, a touch of unpredictability, and they challenge you in ways that make your heart race. Why are you so drawn to them? Because they remind you of your own unclaimed desires and your untapped potential. Stories of desire. Why darkness draws us in. Look at the stories we're obsessed with, brooding anti-heroes, seductive villains, darkly charming vampires. Think of characters like Loki, Dracula, or even the enigmatic figures in modern thrillers. They hold our attention not because they're perfect, but because they're dangerous, mysterious, and profoundly human. We can't look away because they embody something we've repressed, the shadow side of ourselves. As I explore in the laws of human nature, this shadow is a part of us we've been conditioned to hide. Seduction in many ways involves channeling this darkness, not in a manipulative way, but as an authentic expression of your complexity. It's the tension between the forbidden and the desirable that keeps us hooked. For example, think about a night at a bar. You meet a woman who teases you, maybe hints she already has a boyfriend, or pretends not to notice your efforts. Your interest doesn't fade, it skyrockets. Why? Because there's a spark of challenge, a hint of unpredictability. Now imagine the opposite scenario. She agrees to go home with you instantly, with no hesitation. It's easy, but it's also boring. The excitement isn't just in the connection, it's in the chase. This isn't just a social dynamic, it's hardwired into human psychology. We're naturally drawn to what feels just out of reach. What's elusive, forbidden, or challenging ignites our desire in ways the easily attainable never can. Without that tension, the spark fizzles. Number 3. Breaking free from the nice guy trap. Now let's talk about a different kind of seduction killer, the nice guy persona. For years, I embraced this identity, believing kindness and over-availability were the keys to connection. Instead, I was met with failure after failure. Why? Because the so-called nice guy often radiates insecurity. There's a quote often attributed to Malcolm X: "Powerlessness corrupts more than power." It's a brutal but enlightening truth. When someone feels powerless, whether in relationships, work, or friendships, they often react in one of two ways. Self-loathing. They retreat, spiraling into insecurity and depression. Manipulation. They adopt passive-aggressive tactics, disguising their pain as virtue. In romantic contexts, insecurity is a deal-breaker. Women instinctively sense it, and no matter how kind or accommodating you are, it erodes attraction. True kindness isn't about overextending yourself or seeking validation. It's about authenticity. So, how do you escape the trap? Here are 3 strategies that changed everything for me. Set boundaries without apology. Respect begins with self-respect. Learn to say no, whether it's to an unreasonable request or to a dynamic that doesn't serve you. For instance, if someone asks you to drop everything to help them, it's okay to politely decline. It signals that you value your time and energy. Create mystery through absence. You don't need to be constantly available to prove your worth. In fact, stepping back can make someone appreciate your presence even more. As the old saying goes, absence makes the heart grow fonder. Be kind, but don't perform. Kindness rooted in confidence is powerful. It's the difference between giving out of abundance and giving in search of approval. When you're selective with your attention, it becomes more meaningful. As Steve Jobs famously said, "Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your inner voice." In relationships, this means resisting the urge to mold yourself to others' expectations. Too much agreeability makes you predictable and easy to take for granted. Ironically, showing a little unpredictability, pulling back, saying no, or being direct can reignite interest and respect. The secret of seduction. Embrace the tension. Seduction thrives in the balance between risk and reward, between vulnerability and strength. By embracing this tension, you won't just captivate others, you'll unlock your most magnetic, authentic self. So, let go of the need to control every outcome. Instead, step into the unknown. That's where connection truly begins. When I decided to live unapologetically as my true self, everything changed. Something shifted in the way people interacted with me. They responded to my authenticity. They respected my boundaries. I began to realize that relationships are more than just interactions. They are a delicate dance of giving and receiving. Generosity is crucial, whether it's time, attention, or affection, but the key to lasting connections lies in balance. For example, if you're always the one putting in the effort, constantly initiating, take a step back and see what happens. Observe. Watch how people start to respond when you stop overextending yourself. You may be surprised by the change in energy. The truth is, success in relationships isn't about manipulation or games. It's about showing up, not just physically, but emotionally, strategically, and most importantly, authentically. Think of yourself as a brand, not in the shallow sense, but in the way you communicate your value to others. Be clear and confident in who you are. Let your personality unfold naturally over time, keeping things fresh and intriguing. This isn't about tricking people. It's about understanding human behavior and learning how to build meaningful, lasting connections. Every relationship starts with attraction, a powerful yet often misunderstood force. Attraction isn't just about looks or physical chemistry. It's a complex dance that can evolve into something far deeper, something richer. But here's a critical truth. If you want to truly understand anyone, especially women, you need to learn the art of observation. Watch closely. Pay attention. The more you observe, the more patterns you'll start to notice. For instance, women often value stories and experiences that convey depth, connection, and authenticity. They're not looking for a superficial encounter or a mere chase for physical gratification. They want to feel that the interaction is genuine, not a race to an end goal. Let me share a humbling experience. I once thought that writing poetry or bringing flowers on a first date would win someone's heart instantly. It didn't. In another instance, I tried to be overly cautious, asking, "Should we slow down to make this mean something?" That moment backfired in a way that still makes me cringe. My hesitation was misread as disinterest, and the connection fizzled. The lesson: authenticity is everything. Women, and anyone for that matter, want to feel attractive, valued, and desired. Don't fake confidence. Live it. Don't act sincere. Be sincere. Show your genuine self, not as a tactic, but as the truth of who you are. This isn't just a one-time game. It's essential in long-term relationships too. Women, especially when you're a driven, ambitious person, want to feel like they command your full attention. In a world full of distractions, phones, work, the noise of daily life, taking intentional time to focus solely on your partner strengthens the bond between you. Make them feel beautiful, respected, and intellectually engaged, and watch your connection thrive. This is why archetypes like the billionaire, whether in fantasy or real life, captivate us. They embody ambition, yes, but also the rare ability to pause their chaotic world and be fully present with their partner. Generosity, after all, isn't just about throwing money around. It's about being generous with your time, your attention, your presence. A modest dinner, accompanied by undivided attention, will always be worth more than a fancy meal with your eyes glued to your phone. True generosity signals emotional abundance. It shows that you have enough to give, enough to share. But even here, balance matters. Sometimes, stepping back, creating a bit of space, or not being overly available can keep the energy between you and your partner exciting and fresh. The core of meaningful relationships isn't in rigid strategies or calculated moves, it's in emotional authenticity. Cultivate the ability to observe, sense, and connect on a deep, genuine level. Forget the gimmicks, forget the tricks. Presence, generosity, and honesty are the foundation of anything that lasts. So step into the world as someone who isn't afraid to be generous with their time and attention. Someone who is self-assured enough to know their worth, but humble enough to give. A man who understands that true power comes from being unapologetically himself. Number 4. The allure of ambition. Why it captivates. Have you ever wondered why ambition is so captivating, especially to women? The answer may lie in the deep recesses of evolutionary psychology. Ambition often signals capability, the ability to provide, to protect, to persevere through life's toughest challenges. Even though modern society has evolved, and many women now thrive as breadwinners, this primal association between ambition and security remains hardwired in our subconscious. Think about it. A man without ambition can seem aimless, unpredictable, and unreliable. These are qualities that trigger discomfort in both personal and professional relationships. On the other hand, an ambitious man radiates control, resilience, and an undeniable drive to succeed. Yes, he may come across as daring or even unpredictable at times, but isn't that unpredictability part of his allure? In a world full of uncertainties, knowing someone who thrives on overcoming obstacles, who isn't afraid to face the unknown, is incredibly attractive. As Helen Fisher, a biological anthropologist, once said, "Love is a survival mechanism. It's deeply embedded in our biology." Could this be why ambition continues to be such a powerful force in the realm of attraction? The art of seduction. How men and women approach it differently. So, how do men and women approach the art of seduction? Let's break it down. Women often use sensory appeal to seduce: an elegant dress, a captivating walk, a subtle scent that lingers long after she's left the room. But one of the most underrated tools in a woman's arsenal is her voice. A woman's voice can be hypnotic, soothing, and utterly enchanting, invoking a primal desire. Studies show that men are drawn to women with softer, slightly higher-pitched voices, as it unconsciously signals youth and vitality. Think of Marilyn Monroe. Her iconic, breathy tone is still the definition of allure. But seduction is about more than just looks or sound. It's a dynamic play of push and pull. A flirtatious glance, a teasing comment, followed by a coy retreat. This creates a magnetic tension, sparking a man's intrinsic desire to pursue. After all, humans are biologically wired to chase what seems out of reach. Oscar Wilde once quipped, "The only way to get rid of a temptation is to yield to it." For women, seduction often plays out in a mysterious dance of distance and desire. But men seduce differently. Think of the rake, the quintessential male seducer. He zeroes in on his target with an intensity that's hard to ignore. For the time he spends with her, she becomes the center of his world. His attention is magnetic. His words weave a world of mystery and excitement. Women are drawn to this because it promises more than just companionship. It promises a unique, unforgettable experience. As Albert Einstein once said, "You can't blame gravity for falling in love." Perhaps in the end, seduction is nothing more than a natural force pulling us toward the people and experiences we desire most. Number 5. Mastering the art of dating. A modern playbook. Dating in today's world can feel like stepping into an intricate maze. With apps, mixed signals, and the ever nerve-wracking first date, it's no wonder we all have questions. How do you leave a lasting first impression? What's the secret to charming your match right from the start? Let's dive into the elements that make modern dating not just a challenge, but an exciting adventure. It all starts with non-verbal communication, the secret language we all speak. Research shows that a staggering 55% of first impressions come from body language, 38% from tone of voice, and only 7% from words. That's right. Your posture, your eye contact, and your smile communicate far more than any scripted line. Imagine walking into a room and instantly catching someone's eye. You don't need to say a word. Your presence speaks volumes. So, let's address the elephant in the room. Confidence. It doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It means you have to be authentic. As Harvard psychologist Dr. Amy Cuddy wisely says, fake it till you become it. Even if you're nervous, and who isn't? Stand tall, maintain strong eye contact, and flash a sincere smile. Your body will send signals to your brain, and before you know it, you'll feel more confident. This energy isn't just internal, it radiates outward, captivating everyone around you. Now, when it comes to that first date, the environment is everything. Would you rather impress with a high-end rooftop dinner or keep it simple with coffee at a cozy cafe? Both options work, but the key is to choose a setting that fosters authentic connection. Imagine you both share a love for food. Why not take it to a quirky food truck or a unique chef's tasting event? These are not just meals. They're opportunities for spontaneous conversations, creating memories that linger long after the date ends. As for what to wear, keep it polished but effortless clothing that shows you care without overdoing it. You don't need a suit to make an impact. You need to feel comfortable in what you're wearing, as this will allow your true self to shine through. The magic of presence. Let's talk about presence, the kind that leaves a lasting impression. Have you ever been on a date where the other person seemed more interested in their phone or distracted by the noise around them? It's deflating, right? That's why being truly present is essential. Listen actively and focus on the little details they share with you. Notice the things that matter to them, like their favorite type of music or how they like their coffee. Here's where the magic happens. Remember these details and bring them up later. For instance, if they casually mention loving mystery novels, suggest something like, "I saw this cafe hosting a mystery book club. Would you be interested in checking it out sometime?" A thoughtful suggestion made from something they've shared with you instantly shows that you care and are paying attention. It's those small gestures that set you apart from the rest. Overcoming rejection and building resilience. We all fear rejection, but here's the thing. Rejection is not the end. It's just a part of the journey. Sometimes people test your confidence, often without even realizing it. If they seem uninterested, don't take it personally. Keep your composure, stay lighthearted, and smile. As Thomas Edison once said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Every rejection teaches you something valuable about yourself, your desires, and the kind of connection you truly seek. So, stay resilient and keep learning from every experience, the key to long-lasting connection. At the end of the day, dating is about connection, not perfection. Don't try to fit yourself into a mold of who you think you should be. Be unapologetically yourself. If someone doesn't vibe with your real self, then they're simply not the right person, and that's perfectly okay. Reflect on this. What do you bring to the table? What kind of connection are you truly seeking? These are more than just self-reflective questions. They're the compass guiding you towards someone who will truly appreciate your unique spark. As Maya Angelou so beautifully put it, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Create moments that leave an imprint. It's the feeling you leave behind that will resonate far longer than any line or gesture. When you focus on making others feel seen, heard, and respected, everything else falls into place. So, what's your next move? Now is the time to take action. Embrace the butterflies, the jitters, and the unknown, because with every swipe, every smile, and every shared laugh, you're one step closer to finding someone who truly matches your energy. Are you ready to make your move? Mastering the art of seduction isn't about trying harder, it's about doing less with purpose. When you radiate confidence, self-control, and mystery, you naturally draw others in without force. By understanding the subtle dynamics of power and connection, you unlock a magnetic energy that doesn't rely on words. How to seduce women by doing less is not about manipulation. It's about self-mastery, emotional presence, and creating genuine, meaningful connections. If this resonated with you, show your support. Hit the like button, subscribe to Unlock Desire, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to tap the notification bell so you never miss another empowering video. Thank you for being part of this journey with us. We'll see you in the next one.